What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. You're watching the channel Dr. Applesauce 2. My name is Will. It is a beautiful day in Texas. I want you guys to know that I love you, that God loves you, that there is an awesome plan for your life. Today, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I really did not plan on making this video, but some stuff popped up and I wanted to talk about something with you guys and see what y'all thought about it. If this is your first time to the channel and you like Pokemon cards, you like unboxings, you like news, you like stuff like that, I try and bring you 2 or 3 videos a week on those topics. So if you like those type of things, make sure to hit that subscription button and that notification bell. That way YouTube actually tells you every time I put something up. And what I want to talk to you guys today about is some interesting stuff that happened over the weekend, okay? So on Saturday, Logan Paul did the box break for the most expensive booster box ever. He sold over, it was over $1 million. So each of the packs that was in this first edition booster box break was anywhere from $35,000 to $43,000. So it was over $1 million. So first edition base set booster box sold for over $1 million. Crazy. We're not going to talk about that a whole lot. We're not going to talk about that a ton. People have covered that. I've talked about, we've covered that. But that happened over the weekend. And this whole time that they're doing this live stream, which, by the way, he pulled 2 first edition Charizards and 3 first edition Chanseys, which was really cool. But the whole time they're doing the live stream, they're talking about PSA the whole time. PSA this, PSA that. We're sending this to PSA. We're sending that to PSA. They've even worked something out that every one of the holographics that was pulled was automatically sent to PSA Super Express. He has a special stamp on it, all that stuff. We're talking about PSA the whole time, okay? The whole time, the whole time, the whole time, the whole time. This live stream had concurrently anywhere from 200 to 300,000 people watching at once. And as of this morning, has had over 3 million views in just over 24 hours, which is spectacular. Very cool. He has like 22 million subscribers on YouTube. So obviously millions of people are going to watch it. So now this morning we see, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I've seen it in Facebook groups. I've had a couple people message me and tell me PSA has doubled all of their prices for grading. Across the board, everything has doubled. And to be fair to PSA, they have been saying that they're going to do this for a while. It's to be expected. Beckett really raised their prices a couple weeks ago. So we kind of all knew this was going to happen. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that PSA doubled all their prices, but I do think that the timing is not on accident that they doubled their prices 2 days after this massive live stream that millions and millions of people have watched, where PSA was talked about and plugged over and over and over and over. Again, not to say that this is bad stuff, that this is happening, but the timing of it is very interesting to me. So as of today, PSA has doubled all of their prices. Okay, so PSA has doubled their prices. Beckett has drastically increased their prices, and then CGC increased their prices a little bit, not too much. They're still the cheapest option around, but PSA has doubled everything, which is very interesting. So let's take a look at what the new rates look like, because a few different things have changed, and then we'll talk about what I think is the reasoning why, and if you have any opinions as to why PSA has done this. I really don't believe that it was influenced by Logan Paul. All I'm saying is the timing is interesting that they chose to do this after their company was plugged millions and millions and millions of times over all of these views. So drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think about PSA, you know, doubling their prices. But basically what's happened is, for a while now, bulk at PSA has been shut down unless you have a specific account that you can send bulk through. So as of now, bulk is still locked. So the bulk is the one that has changed the most, okay? Bulk used to be $10 a card. And I've never sent bulk to PSA just because PSA is not my preference. I always send my bulk to CGC, and I've sent some of my nicer cards to PSA, but they changed bulk to $20 per card. Now it's only a 10 card minimum. I think it was a 20 card or a 30 card minimum before. I'm sure somebody can correct me down below. I've just never sent bulk to PSA. So it's $20 per card, 10 card minimum. And then here's the thing that's interesting. It used to be a maximum declared value of $100. Now value or bulk is a maximum declared value of $499, which is very interesting because economy still has the $499 value, but it's obviously going to be faster. So bulk is the one that seems to have been changed the most. You can now send in a minimum of 10 cards, but it's going to cost you $20 per card, but you can send in cards that have a maximum value of $499, meaning through PSA, you can send in some more valuable cards via bulk, which is quite interesting. And then so you go down to economy, which was $25 per card. It's now $50 per card, okay, still with a maximum declared value of $499. And then regular, which used to be 50, which the base set trio that you see right there, I sent them on regular for $50 a piece and got them back within about 4 weeks, I think. This was several months ago. But now regular is $100 a card with a maximum value of $999. And then Express, the one that everybody used to use Express all the time if they wanted to get something back real quick, especially if people were wanting to sell something or they got a good card, they wanted to be able to grade it, sell it real fast, they'd use Express because it used to be $75. Now it is $150 for Express. $150. And then we have Super Express is now $300. And then Reholder is $10. And then you have the other tiers that are like the super duper like expensive tiers. But I'm just going to go over the ones that the majority of us are going to use. The majority of us aren't going to be sending in a card that's worth more than $5,000 raw. But there's other tiers, and all of the tiers, even the really expensive ones, they've all doubled in cost. And so I find this really interesting that they've all doubled. And it begs a question, you know, what is exactly the end goal here? And I think a big part of the problem is PSA is so backlogged that they're increasing all of the prices to stem the flow of some of the cards, to try and, you know, not get quite as many in. I see a lot of people saying PSA is greedy, PSA is just wanting to make money, and I'm sure there is an element of wanting to make more money, but PSA doesn't make $1 on your submission until it's scheduled for grading and everything. So all of these thousands and tens and tens and tens of thousands of cards that are just sitting there, they're not making any money on that until the grading goes through. So I find it interesting that they've completely doubled the prices. For me, it's not that big of a deal because, like I said, I prefer CGC. I prefer the CGC slab. It's just what I prefer. Nothing wrong with PSA, but it's interesting that the value or the bulk got changed so much. It got changed to $20 a card, then lowered to a 10 card minimum, and then increased to $499 max value. And so what that leads me to assume is they're trying to, because the lead time on that is still 10 to 12 months, and it's still locked for most people. That leads me to believe that they're trying to push more to bulk, and these shorter orders that people are paying to get them in faster and get them out faster, hopefully trying to push people off of that. Because believe it or not, I'm sure y'all have seen this, but people were sending the economy or sending into the regular what used to be the $25 and $50 tier, and even Express, what was $75 now, which is $50, $100, and $150. People would send cards to those that really weren't worth much. Maybe pull a card that's worth $50 raw, send it to the regular tier, and spend another $50 on it. And get it back really fast, and now they've got, you know, $50, $60 invested in this, and then if they get it back at 10, now it's worth $300, and so they take that risk, and that is happening a lot. So it makes me believe that they're probably trying to de-incentivize people from sending so much stuff to these higher tiers to get out quicker. And so that's what I think. And a lot of people that I've seen on Facebook and on Instagram are saying that PSA is just greedy and they're trying to make money. I think they're actually trying to get people to slow down, because you'll see people sending in, just like, this is the joke that I've been saying, people are sending in every Metapod and My Little Pony, or the Galarian Ponyta, I call that My Little Pony, that they get their hands on, because the bulk was only $10. So, you know, it comes back and, you know, now I've got $20 invested in it, and if I can sell it for $50, that's still a profit. And I think they're trying to keep people from sending in everything, essentially, just to make a quick buck. I have seen tons of stories and situations where people who don't really know anything about Pokemon, don't really care anything about Pokemon, have heard the philosophy of grade every Charizard, and so they were buying up Hidden Fates and buying up Champion's Path and selling the packs, and then they have all these Hidden Fates Charizard promos and all these Champion's Path Charizard promos, and they'll send in 40 of them at the $50 tier each, because it's a Charizard. Grade every Charizard, right? It should be worth a ton of money if it comes back a 9 or a 10, and then they come back 8s and 9s, and they've spent $50 on each card, and now it's only worth $40 or $50 instead of 10 as the promo. And there's a lot of things like that happening that's really backlogging the PSA system. And so I think by doubling these prices, while it is an inconvenience for people that really just want to get cards graded for their personal collection or a card that they love, this is really, really, really going to push people away from sending a bunch of cards to an economy submission that's going to cost them $50 per card. If they're just trying to make some money on it, it's probably going to push them to try and do a bulk submission or go through a third party, you know, a third party person who sends things off themselves, third party, and maybe get a little bit better of a price. So I just wanted to talk about that with you guys and see what y'all thought about that. Very interesting. And I find that the timing of them releasing this, because they've talked about that this is gonna, like, we knew this was going to happen. This isn't some out of the blue surprise. People knew that PSA was going to increase their prices, but the timing of it happening just a little over 24 hours after Logan Paul did his essentially $1 million first edition base set booster box break, where he's got some agreements with PSA where lots of stuff's getting sent to PSA where they're talking about this is worth this in a PSA 10, this is worth this in a PSA 10, this is worth this in a PSA 10. The timing is not an accident at all. And I'm not saying that Logan and PSA had some deal to try and put this together. Maybe they did, I don't know. But it's just interesting to me that the timing is never an accident. If it seems like a coincidence, it's not always a coincidence. So PSA has doubled their prices. Beckett has made their prices a lot more expensive. So in my opinion, if you're wanting to have stuff graded, I think CGC is the way to go right now. I think they have some of the strictest grading standards. I have seen people get PSA returns and pull out a card that receives a PSA 9 that looks pristine, and then the next card that they pull out has received a PSA 10, but it has whitening on the back of the card and on the edges. There's a lot of inconsistencies with PSA, and some of you guys watching might be PSA fanboys that, you know, that's all you want to use, and that's fine, but there is no negating that those issues that I just mentioned happen all the time. And of course, Beckett and CGC, they all have issues, but I personally think that if you're wanting to send stuff off for grading right now for your personal collection or stuff that you want to turn around and try and sell it a little bit, I think CGC is the way to go. We are seeing, or at least I'm personally seeing, some prices on CGC go up and get closer to PSA, not across the board, but in some areas. And I think CGC is the way to go because it's still, you can send a bulk submission. If you don't have an account with CGC, you can still sign up for an account with CGC. CGC just updated their prices, so you can send a bulk submission. You have to send 50 cards, and it's $9 per card. And then if you want the subgrades, it's an additional $7. So that means it's $16 per card bulk. But your turnaround time as of right now is 75 business days as opposed to 10 to 12 months. So you have a little bit cheaper. You have to send more, but your turnaround time is faster. But then if you get away from bulk, you have, you know, $15 options, $25 options, $50 options, where you can really get something back quickly and, you know, spend a little bit less money. So I personally think that if you're wanting to do a bulk submission right now, do it with CGC. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if CGC raises their prices too. I do think that this is going to cause CGC to get slammed now. Now that Beckett is a lot more expensive, and now that PSA has doubled all their prices, I think CGC is going to see a massive influx of submissions, which makes me very happy that I sent off a submission a couple weeks ago when I did my video teaching everybody how to do PSA and CGC submissions. Basically, I made a video that took you step by step. Here's from start to finish to back packaging it up and everything. Here's how you submit cards to PSA and CGC. I'll drop a link up here if you haven't seen that video, but I think CGC is the way to go. Drop me a comment down below, guys. Let me know, what do you think about all this? What do you think? Everything is, they're all raising their prices, and I think the real proof of if CGC and, or not CGC, but the real proof of if PSA and Beckett are just trying to make more money or trying to stem the flow of all these cards coming in is going to be if once things slow down, if their prices stay here, or if they actually bring their prices back down to what everybody's been used to. All right, my friends, I hope I earned your subscription today. Check out some of these other videos. We got openings, we got news, we got all kinds of fun teaching videos. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscription button and that notification bell. And like I always say, my friends, find somebody to love and serve today and be the change you want to see in the world. We'll see you next time.